Indianapolis. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Here now to get us started is Logan Cook. And we are underway from Indianapolis. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. You look at this Jaguar defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season, but they have any hopes of making waves in January. They've got to improve in this area.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down. 3rd and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Chewed up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the 3rd play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3 and out and did just that. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The Colts at 4-11 on the year, and they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Richardson looking to throw this. This pass caught. It's Woods. Touchdown! Jelani Woods, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Now for the point after. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. On the ground, here's the 4th-round pick from April's draft. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Zaire Franklin. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side.
There he goes, right side. Look at the big fella go. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brenton Strange, 64 yards. And the Jaguars are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Richardson to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Colts first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. And Richardson back to throw it. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Travis Hunter. And the Jaguars are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of...
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brian Thomas with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Now the try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well on that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a third down. You look at this Jaguar defense. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Jags are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
There he goes left side. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive may be a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because...
Oh, he's intercepted again. It's Richardson's 3rd of the game. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a handoff looking right. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Jaguars take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. But now he appears to be in some pain. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. He'll get this one to Pittman. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it. And occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Richardson shotgun on 3rd down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. Now it's Richardson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Adonai Mitchell, 28 yards. And the Colts take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Here's Lawrence to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Lawrence will throw. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Colts are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Richardson. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Adonai Mitchell. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Colts are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. A try here for the extra point. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
This will be caught once again by Brown. Down to the 10. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. De'Ami Brown, 56 yards. And the Jags have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well. And the Jags grab it. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And, Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football and just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now 2nd and 9. Richardson looking to throw. He'll let one go deep for Downs. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Josh Downs, 53 yards. And the Colts get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
Lawrence. And that's going to be incomplete. These two teams, they met earlier in the year in Jacksonville with the Jags coming out on top. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0. Here's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got them pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo, the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. From the shotgun, Richardson. A short one there, caught by Warren. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Richardson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Richardson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Here's 2nd and 7. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 97 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Back to throw. Richardson. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Trayvon Walker in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Richardson going to change the play here. Second and 9 now. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
3 tight ends up front here. 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Richardson. Touchdown Colts. Jelani Woods. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Colts get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And good coverage defensively. They wouldn't let him get ahead of steam going, and he'll be brought down at the 15. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Looking long for Thomas. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Down to the 10. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Brian Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jaguars would extend their lead here just before halftime. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. And they'll accept that penalty. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
final shot before the half. Richardson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 132 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. DeForest Buckner gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he could pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So this drive maybe didn't end with the same kind of success they had in the first half, but they do add 3 to their lead.
And defensively, I think they went in there at halftime and made a pact with each other and said, look, we can't let these guys keep driving it right down our throats. Not perfect giving up 3, but a much better start than the way they played in the first half.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. There's that man, Travis Hunter. And the Jaguars will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration.
And now off to the races down the right side. Inside the 20. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. An even 90 yards. And the Jaguars have opened the lead up to 30. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Richardson off the play fake. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And this one will be brought back to the 22. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all,
and he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Brian Thomas, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
On 2nd and 9, Richardson. He'll let one go deep for downs. And my goodness, another interception. And the Jags are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 240 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third down, they're going to run for it here. There he goes, right side. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there. 61 yards. And the Jaguars extend their fourth quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. They'll get 34 yards there.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Connecting over the middle with Downs. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Richardson working from the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Tyler Warren, 27 yards. And the Colts get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin at the 35-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. They go play action now. Lawrence under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. This offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, and now here is another interception. Picked off by Travis Hunter, and the Jaguars are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Grover Stewart. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Now Lawrence to throw. That is caught. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Takes it to about the 37. So that last run is going to be the one to do it. He has officially broken the NFL's single-game rushing record. Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.